slavery for breaking God's commandments. That's what the Bible says. This ain't what I believe. This is what the Bible says. This ain't my own understanding. We just read it out the Bible, did we not? You could go ask your pastor this, hey, what color was Solomon? He's probably going to say, oh, they were Jewish, they were white. Well, where is that in the Bible? We're going to show you in the Bible what his color really is in Jesus, right? So,
that's how you
hey, back up. So, do you think, don't worry about her, she got the devil on. And it's a reason why she's coming up when you understand this Bible. Because God trying to show you something, brother. But she's trying to keep you from hearing it. So watch this. What does society, like, are you familiar with like the Israelites, the Jews, things of that nature, right? Who does society depict them as? Who does the society deem as the Jews today? And what race of people is that? White people, right? Okay, so we just read from the Zondervan Bible Dictionary, which the Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary, those are those white people that we're talking about, those so-called Jewish people. They wrote in their book that Ham was the progenitor of the dark races, right? But not the Negroes. Wait a minute. Why would it say not the Negroes if he was the progenitor of the dark races? That right there should get your wheels turning. Okay, why would he say not the Negroes? So who are the Negroes? What are the Negroes? If they're not Ham, if they're not African, because remember, we always are taught that we're what? We come from Egypt, we come from Africa, like that. Hold on, we're going to get to you. Just stay right there. You're going to do all right. We got you. We're going to get to you. We're always taught that we come from Africa, right? Which is true. But we're really taught that our lineage stems deep in Egypt and things of that nature, right? But we just read.
Stop it. Get some help.
We don't come from Ham. So where do we come from? That's the real question. Watch this. Give me Songs of Solomon 1 in verse 5. I'm going to show you something real quick. Because, hold on, I'm going to get to you. If you stay patient, I'm going to get to you. We're going to deal with everything that you say. So the question I posed to you was, society says that the so-called Jews in the Bible, the people in the Bible like Solomon, right? Moses, that they're what? White people, right? Okay. Now watch this. Let's actually go into the Bible and see if they can prove that. Because I guarantee you, if you ask any pastor, you go to church, you can go ask your pastor this, hey, what color was Solomon? He's probably going to say, oh, they were Jewish, they were white. Well, where is that in the Bible? We're going to show you in the Bible what his color really is, and it's going to make sense as to why they said they were, Ham was the progenitor of the dark races, but not the Negroes. Watch this. Give me Song of Solomon, start at verse 1.
Song of Solomon, chapter 1, verse 1. The Song of Songs, which is Solomon.
So we're about to read the book of Solomon. It says the Song of Songs, which was whose? It said Solomon's. So watch this. We're about to read Solomon's writings, right? Jump down to verse 5. Watch this.
Verse 5. I am black.
Read that again.
I am black.
What did Solomon say? Hold on, you want to see it? Well, we gonna listen. I want you to read along with me. It says, verse 5. I am black. Hold on, back up. Watch this. Hold on. We gotta finish the whole verse. It says, sister, back up. I told you we're gonna deal with you. Hey, if you can't listen and stay, we ain't gonna deal with you. So just chill out. Watch this. Verse 5 again. I want you to pay attention. Verse 5 again.
Verse 5. I am black, but comely.
Not only was he said I'm black, but I'm black and beautiful. That's what the word comely means. I am black and beautiful. Now, do you think that that's the only example in the Bible? Watch this. Let's get Job 30 and 30. Let's get another example. You're going to read all throughout the Bible that the people of the book were actually people of color. They were us. And what you're really going to understand is that the reason why I said Ham was the father of the dark races but not the Negroes, because there's a difference between us and Africans. Because they teach us in slavery what? Africans sold other Africans into slavery, and that's how we got over here, right? That's the lie that they teach us. When you examine the Bible, you're going to learn that Africans sold Israelites into slavery. And that's how we got over here. Because we are the Israelites. Watch this. Read that.
Job chapter 30, verse 30. My skin is
Verbatim, we can let you see it again. Just so you think we lying right there. My skin is black upon me. Come on, that is easy to understand. Now I'll take it one. You're right, it's gotta be more. I'll take it a step further. Watch this. This image right here. If you was to see this image, who would you say that is? Like if you was just to, see that image or randomly see this image somewhere, especially that image right there, that's a depiction of Jesus, right? So, hey, back up. So, do you think, don't worry about her, she got the devil on. And it's a reason why she's coming up when you understand this Bible. Because God trying to show you something, brother, but she's trying to keep you from hearing it. So watch this. So you would say this is Jesus, right? But is this in the Bible? Watch this. Give me that Revelations 1. Now we already read Solomon. Go ahead. What you gonna say? Who made the Bible? This Bible, the King James Version Bible? Watch this. I'm glad you said that. First we're gonna read Revelations 1, then we're gonna go into it. Because I understand why so-called blacks and Hispanics might have an issue with this Bible. I totally get it. And I would understand why you would think, okay, our oppressor wrote that Bible, or the white man wrote that Bible, because they did. They took this Bible and they used it against us. But when you actually examine the Bible, you understand white man didn't write this Bible.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
You ever seen them scriptures in your life, hey? You been in church, you hearing from your pastor, they don't bring up them scriptures. They don't, because they don't even know it's in there. That's what I'm saying. I grew up in a Christian church. My dad's a pastor. We ain't never came across some scriptures. Why? Because our oppressor taught us how to understand the Bible. We're going to read that. But first, I want to clear this up. Watch this. Revelations 1. Start at verse 1.
Bring it up. Revelations chapter 1, verse 1. The revelation of Jesus Christ.
So we're about to read the revelation, which means the revealing of Jesus the Christ, right? Jump down to verse 14. Let's get to the point. Watch this. Read.
Verse 14. His head and his hairs were white like wool.
So, first thing was the hair on his head was white like wool. My first question to you is, what nation of people has woolly textured hair? Does this have woolly textured hair? Or is this woolly textured hair? Or is this woolly textured hair? Okay, all right, so strike one for this dude right here. And we're reading out of the book of Revelations. You familiar with the book of Revelations? Okay, watch this. Read on.
As white as snow, and his eyes were as a flame of fire.
He had red eyes because Christ drunk wine. It's not a sin to drink, it's a sin to get drunk. To be in drunkenness. Like this, like her right here. You're not supposed to be in the midst of drunkenness. But you can drink. That's why Christ had red eyes, because he drunk wine. Remember, Christ's first miracle was what? He turned water to wine. Watch this. Read on.
And his feet.
Now, it says, and his feet. Like, for example, her, you see her feet, right? Her feet is pretty much the same complexion as her skin, right? So if you was to see her feet, you would know, okay, yeah, that's a melanated woman. Watch this, it says his feet, watch this, read.
Like unto fine brass, as if they burned in a furnace.
It said his feet looked like fine brass, as if it burned, and he was dark. So was it this man right here? So why is it that they push this image to us? Why is it that they teach this image? Why is this image in every church? Why is this image in every courthouse, every school? Why is it? Back up. Why is it?
Shouldn't you ask me?
Go ahead.
What did I feel?
Yeah.
What did I feel with my feet?
Right. But they understand how to keep us, controlled. This image was used to control us. It's a reason why they didn't allow us to read and write for hundreds of years. There's a reason why they didn't allow us to read, and if they found out you was reading, what happened? They killed you. Like, for example, you heard of Nat Turner. Remember, he had one of the biggest slave revolts in his time. And you want to know why? Because he started reading the Bible. He actually started reading and was like, wait a minute. Okay, I hear what y'all teaching.
What the hell is even that?
This Bible says differently. And he started to what? Remember, they called him the prophet. He started having visions and he tried to revolt. That's what we out here showing our people, that this is our history book. Black history is in the Bible.
That's right.
The Bible is our history book. Just like every other nation has history books and they have laws and they have all this and customs and traditions, this Bible is our history book. This Bible is our custom and tradition. But I want to show you something about, because I know you made the statement, well, who wrote the Bible? One more, watch this. Give me Deuteronomy 28. I'm gonna read 2 verses for you, and you let me know who this happened to. And how we know the Bible is a true book, how we know our old precedent write this Bible, it was the men of God, is because everything that was written in this Bible came to pass. It happened. Watch this. Deuteronomy 28, verse 15.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 15.
Have you heard of the book of Deuteronomy before? So you've heard of it. It's one of the books of Moses, right? Moses led the children of Israel. He parted the Red Sea. They went out and he gave them the books of the law. Deuteronomy being one of those books. In Deuteronomy, he wrote certain blessings and curses for keeping or breaking God's commandments. Now let me ask you something. Do you think blacks and Hispanics are breaking or keeping God's commandments today? We're breaking God's commandments. We break the Sabbath. When the sun goes down tonight, it's the Lord's Sabbath day. There's not supposed to be any buying or selling. It's supposed to be a day of rest. You're supposed to have, like you have a beard on your face. I know that's in the style. That's the trend. That's in style now. But what you don't realize, that's a commandment of God. God commands you to have a beard on your face. Fringes. You see all these brothers with fringes on their clothes? It ain't just a fashion statement. It's God commanded us to do this. And because I fear God, I'm going to do it. So when you go to Deuteronomy, God gave us certain blessings and certain curses for keeping God's commandments. You got any children? So, but you have parents. So if your parents told you to do something, right, and you didn't do it, what happens? Discipline, right? But if you did it, what would happen? You would, depending on the magnitude of it, you would get a reward, things of that nature. That's the same thing God did with us, blacks and Hispanics. He told us to keep the commandments. If we did it, we would have the kingdom. That was during the time of Solomon and David. We broke God's commandments, guess what? He put curses on us. Now I'm going to read one of these curses. Matter of fact, read 15 and jump to verse 68.
Bring it out. Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
So he said, if you don't keep God's commandments, all of these curses will come upon you and overtake you. Now I want to get one curse. Give me verse 68. Watch this. And you tell me who this happened to. Historically. Watch this. Read.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
It says the Lord will bring you into Egypt again. Now, let me ask you this. Are you familiar with somewhat Bible history? Did the Israelites ever go back into Egypt as a nation like they did during that time? No. So wait a minute. He said, I will take you into Egypt again. Watch this, but watch this. Read. No. Read that.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
Not only will he bring you into Egypt again, he's going to bring you with ships. Do you need a ship to get from Israel to Egypt? No, you don't need a ship. So what is God talking about? Think about it. Think about it if you just came out of Egypt, right? Yeah, give me that in Exodus. If you just came out of Egypt and I told you, hey, look, if you don't do what you got to do, you're going to go back to Egypt. In your mind, you're thinking what? Shoot, I ain't going back to slavery. We were serving hard bondage in Egypt. You gonna send me back to Egypt? Egypt in that context is talking about slavery. Watch this, read that. Exodus 20 and 2.
Exodus chapter 20, verse 2. I am the Lord thy God, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt.
Out of the land of Egypt, read.
Out of the house of bondage.
We called Egypt the house of bondage, meaning slavery. So go back, Deuteronomy 28, read verse 68 again.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
To Egypt again, meaning the house of bondage or slavery again, read.
With ships.
With ships. Now the question should be, okay, right, and what nation went into ships? What nation of people went into slavery with ships? On the planet Earth, there's only one nation that went into slavery on ships. Think about it. Throughout all of of history, what nation of people went into slavery on slave ships? So-called African Americans. Not only Africans, so-called Hispanics. You had where's the slave? Yeah, here you go. You had the so-called transatlantic slave trade, right? So the brother was bringing out earlier in 1492 with Christopher Columbus. When Christopher Columbus came, guess what? They took our people from over here, took them as slaves over there. That's how you ever heard of the story? You heard of the story of the Mayflower and the Pilgrims? And when they came over here, they had an Indian on the ship named Squanto. How you think Squanto got on the ship? How did Squanto get on the ship coming from Europe back to America? How? Because he was picked up on a ship that went to Europe. Same thing in 1619. I know you're familiar with the transatlantic slave trade, where they took us off the coast of Africa and brought us over here on cargo slave ships, just like this. This is Bible prophecy. It was prophesied to us during the time of Moses. God said, if you don't keep the commandments, this is going to happen to you. And guess what? We didn't keep his commandments, and that happened. That's how we know this Bible's a true book. That's how we know our oppressor didn't write this Bible. Our oppressor didn't rewrite this Bible. William Shakespeare didn't write this Bible. What happened was they understood, because what our oppressor used to do, give me that in Maccabees. What you're going to learn throughout history, this demon right here, who is Esau, he comes from the nation of Esau. Let me ask you this, your nationality, your father, what would you say, your nationality? African American? So you would come from the tribe of Judah. Just like my father, he's an African American. I come from the tribe of Judah. We are Israelites according to the Bible. This nation right here, they are Edomites according to the Bible. The world calls them Caucasians. They've renamed everybody on the planet Earth to keep you confused. They renamed themselves Caucasians. They renamed them. They renamed Chinese people Chinese, Japanese. They called us African Americans. Matter of fact, it didn't start as African Americans. Remember, we were first called what when we got here? Negroes. I got Negroes for sale. Then our nationality changed to blacks. Then it changed to colors. Then it changed to Afro-Americans. Then it changed to African Americans, to what we have today. Now we're Black Americans or African Americans. It's all interchangeable. Why is our nationality always changing? Because they're trying to keep you asleep from this Bible. Right. They're trying to keep you dumb to the understanding and history of this Bible. Because let me ask you something. We just read a prophecy in Deuteronomy. That happened. Like, it ain't like, I know a lot of times people see this Bible and they think make-believe, they think, I don't know, is it real, is it not real? Like, that's the mind, that's kind of the thoughts, at least that's what my thoughts before I really understood what this Bible was talking about. Is it real, is it not real? That's how people's thought. Because they teach us fairy tales in Christian church. But we just read a prophecy that you could tell, historically, it came to pass. You don't think everything else is going to come to pass? You don't think everything else is going to happen? You don't think Christ is going to crack the sky, come back and destroy this place? Right. You don't think, he took us into slavery on slave ship. God said, if you don't keep the commandments, I'm going to send you into slavery on slave ships. Hundreds of millions of us were killed because we decided we didn't want to keep God's commandments. Right. So what do you think is going to happen for those who keep deciding not to keep God's commandments? Right. God allowed this to happen. Because understand this, God is a just God, and he's going to come back, and he's going to recompense this man right here. Listen, our oppressor think they got away scot-free. I know Christianity has led us to believe to forgive your enemy. Oh, you know what I'm saying? Forgive him. You mean to tell me God is just going to allow a nation of people to rape, rob, murder hundreds of millions of people, and nothing happened? Nothing happened? You think, we say God is a just God, right? Is that not what he said? What's up? We were carried into slavery for breaking God's commandments. That's what the Bible says. This ain't what I believe. This is what the Bible says. This ain't my own understanding. We just read it out the Bible, did we not? We read it out the Bible. How do we get to peace? I'm gonna show you that. That's a good question. How do we get to peace? Watch this. Give me Revelations. Give me Revelations. Let's go to the last book and the last chapter of the Bible.
Bring it up.
Give you how we get to peace. Because the only way we can get to peace is by keeping God's commandments. That's the only way. All of them, yes. You got to keep all of God's commandments. Well, so what are you getting at about keeping all God's commandments? Hold back up a little bit. No, you good. No, you good. Watch this. Let's read this. Revelations 22, read verse 14. This is how we get to peace. Watch this. Read.
Revelation chapter 22, verse 14. Blessed are they that do his commandments.
It says, blessed are they that do his commandments. Where is his commandments found? In the Bible. Throughout the whole, he says, I come in the volume of the book. Watch this. He says, blessed are they that do his commandments, read,
That they may have right to the tree of life.
that they may have right to the tree of life.
Bring it up.
So how you get in the tree of life? So that means, your question should be, what are the commandments? Right, so what does that mean? So what does that mean? Because understand this, and it's not to knock you. Our people have been destroyed because I was just like you. I had that same understanding. Christianity, love thy neighbor as thyself, love thy God. Okay, so what does that mean? Christianity gives us nothing that is substantial, nothing that you can grasp. Everything's just vague and fluff. Because when you say loving thy neighbor as you love yourself, what does that entitle? Because I can say loving thy neighbor as I love thyself, but then I go and murder somebody, and then I say, Lord, forgive me. I'm going to go love my neighbor as I love myself. But some people might believe that. Because, this is the thing. Christianity gives that interpretation. Watch this. Give me Matthews. I'm going to show you what loving thy neighbor as you love thyself. Now, you got a second. Because what you really going to do out here? Ain't nothing to do but walk back and forth up and down this road. I get it, but I get it, but these shops ain't closing. You talking about souvenirs. Listen, this is the best souvenir you're going to get in your life. Because all this is going to burn. Christ return. Now, I understand what you're saying. But watch this. Before you go, let me leave you with this, because I don't want you to walk off not understanding what loving thy neighbor as you love yourself is. Give me that Matthew 22. You know what I want? Is it 22 or 23? 22. Watch this. On these hang all the laws and commandments. Read that.
Matthew chapter 22, verse 38. This is the first and great commandment. Verse 39. And the second is like unto it. Thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself.
So when you read the history, Christ was coming and saying there were two greatest commandments. I'm pretty sure y'all heard it. Love the Lord thy God as you love yourself, and love thy neighbor as you love yourself, right? Watch what Christ says concerning that, though. Read.
Verse 40. On these two commandments.
On those two commandments, love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, and love thy neighbor as you love yourself. On these two commandments, what?
Hang all the law and the prophets.
All the laws written in the Bible are summed up into those two commandments. Because if I love the Lord thy God with all my heart, I'm going to do everything he told me to do. If he told me to put a beard on my face, I'm going to do it. If he told me to put fringes on my clothes, I'm going to do it. If he told me to keep the Sabbath day, I'm going to do it, right? If I love my neighbor as I love myself, if the Bible says thou shalt not commit adultery, am I going to go try to sleep with my neighbor's wife? Am I going to go try to steal from my neighbor? Am I going to see my neighbor in the midst of sin? Am I going to allow him to continue in sin? I ain't going to let him. I'm going to say, hey, listen, you need to stop. You need to stop breaking God's commandments before you get destroyed. Because that's ultimately what this is. Christianity is not for our people. Christianity is going to keep us in hell. There will be no peace in Christianity. Understand that? The only peace that's going to come is by the Israelites keeping God's commandments, and this nation is destroyed. We will never get peace in this nation. Understand? We've been fighting for peace for 400 years. Where has it gotten us?
No.
Where has it gotten us in 400 years? We are worse off today than our forefathers was in the 60s.
Right.
Think about it. In the 60s, the 30s, the 40s, the 50s, that era, you had Black Wall Street, you had black communities, the marriage divorce rate was low. Today, 95% of black women are divorced.
Right.
Back then, it was like 5%. We are worse off today than our forefathers were back then. So there's no peace in this society. The only way we're going to get peace, brother, is by keeping God's commandments, and this nation gets destroyed. We only going to get peace when we are back on top. When we are ruling as God's chosen people. That's what we teach you. We teach you that blacks, Hispanics, we are the Israelites. We are God's chosen people. We are God's anointed. We are God's elect. And we must keep God's commandments and rise back up so that we can take back over this earth. You understand that? You got a flyer? Make sure you check us out. You got a flyer? Make sure you check us out. The information's on there, brother. The information's on there.
Shalom, Israel. This is Bishop Nathaniel. I want you to know that you can view all our Sabbath classes live on IUIC TV. That's right, I said on IUIC TV. Download the app today. Shalom. What is
nation? Nation is men leading by example. Nation is family.